The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
Yes, it's Wednesday here, halfway through the week. My Monday was yesterday, and I guess yours might be today. So.
Yeah, this is my Monday. First day back in a couple of days.
Yeah, hopefully you are enjoying your week. I know it was, got off to a little bumpy start, but it shouldn't be too bad for the rest of the week.
Definitely did. With those storms on Monday, I know I was stuck at home with my dogs, and one of them's terrified of storms, so that was quite a feat. But brought cold temperatures for the last couple of days.
Yeah,
that continues through today.
Pretty chilly.
Yeah, and we'll go take a look at that. Right now in the 40s across the region. It is clear though, we do have clouds increasing throughout the day. Winds are picking up about 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the west right now, and we're going to see gusts upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour throughout the day as well. They'll continue on as we move into later this evening. We'll start to see those winds decrease, but not until it brings down those wind chill values. On top of that, we have some showers pushing through our northern counties, although it's going to move off to the east pretty soon in the next couple of hours, and it's not going to drop a whole lot of rain, pretty light showers throughout the day. We've had a lot of rain as well since Monday. Those storms that passed through, we got most of the region, half an inch to an inch of rain, but our southeastern counties got up to 2.5 inches of rain. So it was a pretty heavy system that passed through, and it did help our drought conditions. We see, especially in the southeast where we got the heaviest amount of rain, we have dry drought conditions. These are not as severe, and they'll be fixed within the next 3 to 6 months as these heavy rain showers continue throughout the spring season. Now, out in Montgomery County, that is severe drought conditions, and those won't improve within the next 3 to 6 months. Those are long-lasting drought conditions, so we'll see those improve within the next year and a half. But for the rest of us, throughout this spring season, we could see some improvement in our drought conditions. Maybe even in Chanute, we could see those moderate conditions get down to dry conditions. In the next couple of months, we have a lot of rain chances coming up. Twice we have rain chances this week, and I'll have all those details for you in a little bit.
All right, we'll check in with you soon, Lindsay. Now it is some ballot questions that will impact your taxes. Streets and schools are answered. Voters in both Missouri and Oklahoma went to the polls yesterday to decide on local issues. In many communities, those included tax proposals. We began our coverage with a Joplin proposition to extend an existing 0.3% sales tax for 12 years. It would fund capital improvements such as street projects. That proposal passes by a vote of 2,141 to 1,391. Carl Junction voters were asked to extend an existing tax to refund an $18.5 million school bond. Proposition Kids passes easily 1,424 to 539. A school bond was also on the ballot in Rich Hill. It called for a tax hike. Voters said yes to that idea. A sales tax proposal in Martin County was to provide central dispatching for various emergency services such as fire and ambulances. 60% of voters said yes to that plan. Ballots in Nevada, Missouri included a $15 million revenue bond proposal for the waterworks and sewer system. Voters apparently liked that idea. The vote was 517 to 243. The White Rock Fire Protection District proposed a plan that would change its funding formula, increasing sales tax while reducing property taxes. That proposal passed. Voters in Fidelity, Missouri accepted a plan to impose a half-cent sales tax for economic development. Voters in a number of communities considered a so-called use tax that's typically imposed on certain goods and services that are not subject to a sales tax. Jasper County voters approved that use tax proposal by a wide margin. A use tax proposal also appeared on Carl Junction ballots. More than 1,100 votes were cast, and it appears to fail narrowly by 3 votes. A proposal to impose a local use tax in Nevada passed on a vote of 485 to 282 votes. And one more use tax on ballots. This one in Knoll, Missouri, voters there approved that proposal. Knoll voters also considered a 3% tax on the sale of recreational marijuana. Voters said yes to that idea by a wide margin. And voters in Asbury easily passed an identical marijuana tax proposal for their community. In addition to the various tax questions, voters in a number of Southwest Missouri and Southeast Oklahoma communities elected members to various school boards and city and county positions. You'll find the latest numbers from many of those races at KOAMnewsnow.com. And be sure to download the KOAM News app for all your election needs. You can also go to our website for election information at KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. The website will include resources for all of the 4-state areas, such as polling places, deadlines, dates, and you can even check to see if you're registered to vote. Once again, that's KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. Roofs peeled up, trees and telephone poles down, roads completely blocked, and many windows broken. This is just some of the aftermath from Monday night's storm as it tore through much of the area, including the Carthage Square. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has more.
Literally, it was like someone just kicked you in the gut because you think you just lost the entire building. And worse than that, I thought I lost a very good friend.
Murphy's Law Restaurant and Bar's owner Frank Lyon describes these scary moments he lived inside his business as a straight line winds hit Carthage.
I get this alert on my phone, tornado warning. Almost immediately after we got hit, like all the lights went off. You could feel the building shake. You hear the stuff being blown around, everything else. I'm yelling at my wife to get downstairs.
After making sure everybody was safe, Lyon had the chance to assess some of the damage.
It's still soaked, so I'm kind of worried about this because it's now really soft. But it is like a waterfall coming down here.
The glass on his front door and his roof all went to the ground.
Everybody's exhausted because we've been trying to clean everything up all night.
Right now, I am next to the roof of one of the buildings around the area, but business owners were telling me that at this point they cannot even know if the piece of roof is from their businesses or not. A lot of the debris has nails on them, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of these streets here are closed.
It looked like a war zone. I mean, it looked like everything's in the street. I had people next door to me crying in the street, and their cars are damaged, just wiped out.
One of the next door neighbors whose car was damaged is Eli Wills. He said he just recently finished paying it off.
It really sucks trying to start from square one and build something, and it's all just taken.
Not only his car was damaged, but also the apartment where he lives.
To be honest, with the glass shattering, the water falling, and the way the building was shaking, and I know how old it is, I didn't know what was going on. I was scared.
A feeling shared with many other residents. In Carthage, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
A lot of the debris was removed from the streets around Carthage Square yesterday, and no injuries were reported. Carthage residents also shared concerns about not hearing tornado sirens. The city says the tornado warning alert was activated by the National Weather Service at the same time the electric company's computers indicated a power outage on the square. City officials say at the time the storm shelters were being opened.
We did make the call to try to get the shelters opened up, but as fast as it happened, I was behind the 8 ball on that, and I would have liked to have set the sirens off, and then I made the decision not to sound them after the tornado had hit.
Fire Chief Ryan Huntley says they'll evaluate what can be done better in the future. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Microsoft committed a cascade of avoidable errors that allowed Chinese hackers to breach the tech giant's network. Plus, Americans in several states are cleaning up after powerful storms brought tornadoes, strong winds, and heavy rains. And meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney returns with another look at your Wednesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from downtown Fort Scott for National Walking Day.
Voting as 4 states' finest hospital and general care.
Topping Nation Watch this morning, Microsoft committed a cascade of avoidable errors that allowed Chinese hackers to breach the tech giant's network and later the email accounts of senior U.S. officials last year. That's according to a U.S. government-backed review of the incident. A report released Tuesday by the U.S. Cyber Safety Review Board said the hack was preventable and should not have happened. The panel faults Microsoft for not adequately protecting a sensitive cryptographic key. The report says that allowed hackers to remotely sign into their target's Outlook accounts by forging credentials. The hackers downloaded about 60,000 emails from the State Department alone. That allegedly gave Chinese operatives access to the unclassified email accounts of senior U.S. diplomats, including the U.S. ambassador to China. China has denied the hacking allegations. On Monday, a Florida man was sentenced to 14 months in prison for threatening to kill Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts last year. 43-year-old Neil Bridge Sidwani must also serve 3 years of supervised release following his incarceration. Sidwani pleaded guilty in December to transmitting an interstate threat to kill and was facing up to 5 years in prison. Authorities said he called the Supreme Court in July last year and left an expletive Aladdin threatening voicemail message for a member of the High Court. Online court documents revealed the member was Chief Justice Roberts. Sidwani's attorneys did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Donald Trump's attorneys are asking a judge to recuse himself from an upcoming trial, arguing the judge is conflicted by his daughter's political work. Mr. Trump's attorneys asked the same of a Judge Juan Merchant last year, but he declined to do so. Now that Mr. Trump is the 2024 GOP nominee, his lawyers argued in a new letter Monday Merchant should reconsider. That's because his daughter is a Democratic political consultant for Authentic Campaigns, which will financially benefit from the trial. After Merchant issued a gag order last week ahead of the April 15th trial, Mr. Trump attacked both the judge and his daughter on social media. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office asked Merchant to expand on the gag order to cover his family, which the judge did on Monday. Americans in several states are cleaning up after powerful storms brought tornadoes, strong winds, and heavy rains. This morning, millions of people across the country are still under a threat of tornado flood and winter storm conditions. Jared Hill has more from New York.
Dude, that is a tornado.
Wild winds brought by spring storms are whipping through parts of the South and Midwest. Gusts in Indiana knocked over these semi-trucks on the highway. Homes left damaged, trees toppled.
It was just bright and sunny, and all of a sudden it just went dark.
Oh my God!
In Ohio, where folks are keeping watch of tornado warnings, strong winds flipped this RV onto its side. Rushing floodwaters had these two women stuck under a bridge in Columbus. First responders came to the rescue.
It's devastating.
Billy Glenn Kennedy is picking up what's left of his funeral home after a tornado tore through Sunbright, Tennessee.
Just thankful that nobody was hurt, and we'll just have to move forward.
Winds blew the roof off this house in Kentucky and brought a massive billboard down on an empty car in West Virginia. Tornado sirens blared over a ballpark in the state's capital, sending college baseball teams running for shelter. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And this morning, thousands of Americans are without power as a result of the powerful storms over the past 24 hours. Georgia, West Virginia, and Ohio are a few of the states where customers are reporting the highest number of outages, according to a website that tracks power outages. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Now here's Lindsay with a look at your forecast.
Temperatures are going to be pretty cool for the day. We see wind gusts up to 30-35 miles per hour, bringing those wind chill values down pretty significantly. But we will start to warm up as we move into the week. Looking forward to that. We've got more news after the break.
Garlic butter. Need we say more? Sonic Garlic Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
Rottler, proven pest solutions for every season.
Well, this next story might sound fishy, but viewers are tuning in to an underwater live stream meant to help fish migrate to warmer waters. Once you see a fish, you ring the doorbell. Jeannie Moose explains.
Why would fish need a doorbell, and who answers it?
It's finally fish doorbell season again, which is the most wonderful time of the year.
The fish cluster stuck at the most important boat lock in the Dutch city of Utrecht. Are they frisky fish? Are they horny fish? What kind of fish are we talking here?
Yeah, I think you could describe them as horny fish. They've got one thing on their minds.
The instinct to get upstream to shallow water to lay eggs and fertilize them. And that has spawned this live streaming underwater camera.
The thrill you get letting a fish through is unparalleled.
Every time someone clicks, a photo is sent to the fish doorbell's creator, ecologist Mark Van Herkelum. When enough fish have gathered, Mark asks the lock keeper to manually open the gates. This is actually a lot like real fishing. Most of the time, nothing happens. The screen is empty. But when you do see a fish, press the doorbell. Those bulging eyes, gaping mouths, mystery blobs, eels, viewers worldwide are addicted. As one joked, quitting my day job to ring the fish doorbell full time. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen on that camera that you weren't expecting to see?
Well, one time we saw a person.
A guy jumped in just to wave at the camera. It used to be Avon calling. Now it's frisky fish. Ding, 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 dong. We have a winner.
Oh, he's a monster. Let's go! Be free, buddy!
Chinimos, CNN, New York.
You know, I had no idea that there were fish live streams out there for just anyone to watch, but it was pretty cool. All right, now here's Lindsay with a quick look at your forecast.
All right, so we're seeing some showers pushing in our northern counties. Pretty brief. They'll be over in the next hour or two, but we do see that, and I'll have a lot more updates with you for our cooler temperatures and the wind gusts that we see and wind chill values all day today. I'll have all that after the break.
What's up at DQ?
Partnering with people to live healthier lives.
Well, I hope everyone is having a wonderful start to their morning. It is a bit chillier today. We've seen cooler temperatures after those storms passed on Monday, bringing a pretty drastic cold front. Now it's clear right now, but we do see some clouds off in the distance, and it's going to increase as we move throughout the day. Some of our northern counties also getting some showers right now, and they're going to continue for the next hour or two. Nothing too severe, some rainfall, but they'll be cleared out for the rest of the day. And we don't see any more rain chances moving in until Saturday night. That system is still west of Vancouver, so we're not getting that for a while. We're going to have a warming trend, actually. Thankfully, we went from 75 on Monday, and after that cold front pass dropped us nearly 25 degrees down to 49 on Tuesday. That trend's continuing. Right now, it's only about 40 degrees as you're starting off your day. As we go off to school or to work, it's going to be pretty clear, but winds increase and clouds increase throughout the day, warming up to the mid-50s across the region. Now, winds are picking up 30-35 miles per hour gusts throughout the day, and that's going to continue all the way until this evening. Due to those wind gusts, we may see wind chill values down to the 20s and only warming up to the 30s across the region as those temperatures start to warm up. So it's going to be a pretty chilly day, unfortunately, but due to this ridge forming over our area, that means that we're going to have a warming trend. We start to warm up tomorrow in the 60s and 70s by Friday. It's going to continue on, but as this low pressure comes through, we have another rain chance moving in Saturday night. Not going to be too long-lived. Saturday night into Sunday morning, we'll have some pretty heavy rainfall, maybe a thunderstorm or two, nothing too severe. But as you can see, we've got one low pressure system and two low pressure systems. The second one will be making its way into our area. That'll be starting to come in a little bit later Tuesday. We could start to see it come in early actually on Monday morning or Monday evening, excuse me. Thunderstorms come in Tuesday morning, and then throughout the day we'll have thunderstorm chances, rain showers. That's going to continue all the way through Wednesday. Showers may even stick around until Thursday, which is good for us because we need the rainfall in our region. And as that passes, we'll start to see Wednesday 6 a.m. still some rainfall as that low pressure moves straight through our area. So what you can expect today, temperatures getting up to the mid-50s, but it's going to be pretty windy and cloudy, dropping down to 32. So right at freezing, we may have chance of freezing tonight. Any kind of rain that's still sticking around. Warming up for the next couple of days. Saturday we have another chance of rain showers, but it's going to stay in the 70s until Tuesday when that cold front makes its way through. It'll drop those temperatures down. 44 for our low on Wednesday, and it doesn't warm up. It's going to be 44 all day on Wednesday, starting to warm up Wednesday night. Getting into Thursday, temperatures start to warm back up into the 60s and 70s. Now over to Health Watch with Elise.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. We're learning more about the psychological toll the pandemic has had on children. A study by Children's Hospital of Chicago found emergency rooms treated more kids for severe psychiatric uses, including bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and substance use disorders. The numbers were higher for girls than boys. Many people with heart disease often eat twice the recommended amount of salt in their diet. A study by the American College of Cardiology found that nearly 90% of heart disease patients were eating well over the recommended 1,500 milligrams of sodium. Excess salt can raise blood pressure, putting strain on blood vessels in the heart. And the odd hours many people worked in previous jobs could affect their health later in life. A study published in PLOS One showed workers with nighttime or early morning shifts had poor sleep, fatigue, and emotional exhaustion, but the study found some of those health effects linger even years after a person switches to a job with a more normal schedule. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back.
In the heart of Grove, Oklahoma, a new era of healthcare has
incredibly low monthly payments with 0% interest for 84 months. Shop now, spend less, and get more. Only at Ashley.
Right now at 6:30, Joplin High School's Performing Arts Center hosted the work of some very talented artists.
And temperatures across the region are still in the lower 40s right now. Winds are starting to pick up and clouds increase today. I'll have all those details in just a bit.
Plus, the city of Fairland, Oklahoma broke ground on a brand new Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa County.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
And we've been saying it. It's a Wednesday here, halfway through this kind of up and down week. We had, elections in our area yesterday, storms Monday, so it's pretty calm over here.
It is calm for the day. Winds do pick
far
up today, but it's going to be pretty chilly due to the storms that came through on Monday. Dropped those temperatures quite a bit.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either. I don't mind the storms, but I don't like the cold temperatures.
Yes.
In spring should stay a little bit warmer at least.
It feels like spring out there. It really should.
It should.
Yeah.
But I'll check out what we've got to expect today. Temperature right now in the 40s and out in Joplin. It's clear, but we do see clouds starting to increase. You can see them off in the distance there. Winds are picking up out of the west, about 12 miles per hour, but we do see wind gusts up to 30-35 miles per hour starting this morning and continuing all the way through the afternoon. They will start to die down a little bit later on this evening. We'll see winds calming down. However, it could bring those wind chill values down pretty significantly. We've got some rain showers in our northern counties. Clouds start to push in, but they're not long-lived. They'll be gone in a couple of hours. Nothing too worry about. We may have a little bit heavier rain with that, but like I said, not going to be too heavy. We've had a lot of rain in the last couple of days, especially in our southeastern counties, and that has a good deal on these drought conditions. Everywhere in the yellow, those are dry. Those are able to improve within 3 to 6 months. With the rainfall that we're getting this spring season, we should see a lot of improvement in the area. We already are starting to clear up some of our counties out of those drought conditions. However, out in Montgomery County, still in a severe drought conditions. Those aren't going to improve within the next 3 to 6 months. It takes a lot longer for severe drought. They're long lasting, and it could take up to a year for that to start to improve. But we've got more rain in the forecast, and I'll have all those details for you in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. We'll check in with you soon. Well, the Kansas Department of Health and Environment has issued a stream advisory for Shoal Creek. This is from the Missouri state line to the confluence with the Spring River and south to the Oklahoma state line in Cherokee County. The KDHE says the stream advisory is a result of a raw sewage release near Joplin. You should not enter these areas of the stream or river and keep children and pets far away. Well, the Joplin City Council last night met to discuss the possibility of a fiber optic network. Members approved the proposal on first reading. If it's approved on second and third readings at a later meeting, the city would okay an agreement with the company Allo Missouri LLC to construct the fiber optic network. That network would help provide high quality, high speed internet access to Joplin residents and businesses.
Our core values, we want to make local, honest, exceptional, and hassle-free. So what we do is we make it easy for the residents of business to do business with us. We're going to have local employees in the marketplace. We're going to have storefronts. So no matter how the customer wants to do business, whether it's reaching out to us on the phone, stopping in our storefront, or just ordering through our website, we're there to take care of their needs.
Under the agreement, the network's facilities would be owned and operated by Allo, but located within the city. Well, Joplin High School's Performing Arts Center hosted the work of some very talented artists yesterday. The annual Joplin K-12 art show showcased a variety of artwork from nearly every Joplin school. Joplin High School is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the show runs until April 16th. The city of Fairland, Oklahoma broke ground on a brand new Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa County. Funding for the project came through a partnership with the Cherokee Nation, and the size of the new building will serve current kids as well as kids on the waiting list, and as one official said, kids in the future.
We will be able to expand services in this current facility. Right now, in the space we're serving kids in, we're at capacity and we have a waiting list, and we really don't want that. We want enough space to serve all of the kids who need it here in Fairland, and so the opportunity to have more square footage to serve more kids is a big deal for us. And so this building, the moment we open, will alleviate that waiting list.
And the new Boys and Girls Club is scheduled for its grand opening this August. And now to look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Women's sports are exploding in popularity, and sports bars are changing to meet the growing demand. And we have a windy and partly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Lindsay Gaffney in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from downtown Fort Scott for National Walking Day.
Majestic mountains, glittering waters, America the...
Tony's Garden Center on South Santa Fe in Chanute.
In Consumer Watch this morning, from Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes to soccer, tennis, and golf, women's sports are exploding in popularity. Michael George shows us how sports bars are changing how they do business to meet the growing demand.
Clark connects! Anyone who claimed women's sports aren't popular should count how many people are watching Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes in the NCAA tournament. Nearly 7 million, more viewers than the men's games this year.
People are paying attention not only to women's basketball, to women's sports in general. So it's great for women and girls.
Women's sports are having a moment, with viewership breaking records from college basketball to the WNBA to soccer. According to Nielsen, last year's women's NCAA tournament doubled viewership from 2022, and 6.4 million fans watched Team USA compete in the Women's World Cup. And now, sports bars are adapting to welcome the growing ranks of women's sports fans.
It's been a long time coming.
Jill Homerodian owns Blondie Sports Bar in New York City, where more women's games on the big screen TVs has meant more customers.
It's really, really heartening, and even the men are getting into it too.
This Portland, Oregon sports bar is known for showing only women's sports. Its name, the Sports Bra.
When the Sports Bra opened, there was a lot of question marks because we were the first to do it. And from day one, it has just been, very, very busy, high demand.
Founder Jenny Wen says sports bars are waking up to a huge market that's long been ignored.
It's really a movement that I don't think we'll turn back from. I don't think there's going back from this. It's just going to get more and more awesome.
Women's sports changing the game and shattering the conventional wisdom. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Seats for this year's women's Final Four are currently selling for more than the men's Final Four. And Forbes has released its list of the world's richest billionaires for 2024. Head of the French luxury conglomerate LVMH, Bernard Arnault, whose holdings include Louis Vuitton and Sephora, topped the list with a net worth of $233 billion. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos were number 2 and 3, with Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, and Bill Gates also among the top 10. And Costco is now offering a weight loss program to members that includes access to GLP-1 prescription drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. The program is accessible through the Warehouse Club's healthcare marketplace, Sesame. Costco members can sign up for the service for about $179 for 3 months and have consultations with clinicians who can prescribe those prescriptions. And Spam showing its appreciation for fans in Hawaii with special edition packaging. According to the company, no other state consumer consumes as much Spam as Hawaii does. The company has partnered with a local artist to create a collector's can, which includes an image of the state flower, the yellow hibiscus. The company says it has sent nearly $1 million in funding and products to Maui after last year's devastating and deadly wildfires. The collector's can is available at retailers in Hawaii and Spam Museum in Austin, Minnesota, and online. And it's now easier to charge up in Maine. There are now 5 high-speed public electric vehicle chargers at the Hannaford in Rockland. They are the first in Maine funded by a national program created through President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law. Bonnie Bishop was at the grand opening.
The state already has over 1,000 public EV charging ports, but these 5 Tesla chargers are different, part of a bank of 8 total chargers.
It is not luck that we're here today. It's the result of a focused and strategic plan from President Biden in partnership with Congress and our state partners to invest in America, all of America. And that means investing right here in Rockland.
Maine is the 5th state to get chargers through the program and the 1st to get Tesla ones. The federal infrastructure law seeks to help achieve the president's goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050.
We all know that climate change is one of our #1 challenges going forward, so it's critically important that we do this, that we do all the things that we need to do to make sure that we have a future to pass along to our children and grandchildren.
Nearly half of Maine's carbon emissions come from transportation, according to Congresswoman Shelley Pingree, and the charging stations are designed to change that. The chargers are also designed to be convenient for EV drivers, charging your car in the time it takes to get your groceries. And officials say the chargers are needed now.
As we see the issues of extreme weather and other things related to climate change, moving these things as fast as possible is critically important, and just making sure that Maine is well equipped. So this governor and this administration in Maine has already been working hard to get this done, but I think we're all feeling that sense of urgency.
Maine is expected to receive $18 million from Nevi to fund 9 other charging locations across the state in the coming years. That's it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Lindsay with another look at your forecast.
Well, we do have some showers pushing in our northern counties. Some heavier showers, but they're not long-lived. Going to be pretty brief. It's going to be over in the next couple of hours. And the next chance of rain we've got moving in won't be until Saturday. The low pressure system still west of Vancouver. Until then, we're on a warming trend. Today is going to be pretty chilly, especially with those wind chill values. But for the next couple of days, we will start to warm up. 60s tomorrow, 70s by Friday. Then we've got those rain chances moving in on Saturday. I'll have all those details for you in just a bit. It's almost time to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. They're up after the break, but first, let's see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, country music's Bailey Zimmerman talks about his quick rise to stardom as we continue our road to the CMT Music Awards. Plus, actor Asher Grodman joins us with what's new with Trevor in the latest season of Ghosts. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Plus, get up to 48 months interest-free financing. The massive warehouse overstock sale on now at Westco Home Furnishings.
And it's time to celebrate birthdays in the 4 states on this Wednesday morning. Starting off our list with Heston Mangarelli, turning 6 years old today from Hepler, Kansas. Happy birthday, Heston.
And Liam Cooper has 9th birthday out in Columbus, Kansas. Nana and Papa Nestor love you.
And happy birthday to Ryder Hernandez, who's turning 9 today from Parsons. Says, with love from Mom, Dad, and Wyatt, we love you.
Into the double digits, Ian Greenway has his 10th birthday today. Happy birthday, Ian.
And over in Nevada, happy birthday to Sammy Petit, who turns 12.
Aiden Sisney turns 17 today out in Girard, Kansas. Love Mom, Dad, Evan, Marley, and Quinn, Grandma and Grandpa Hansen, and Grandma and Grandpa Prettyman.
And happy birthday to Heimer, who's turning 21. Heimer, who's turning 21 from Fort Scott. And it looks like we got a little cute throwback there. I'm loving the KU hat, Bryden.
And Pam Eckhorn turning 70 today out in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Her kids and grandkids, who affectionately call her Grammy, love her so much and wish her the happiest birthday.
And a happy 90th birthday to Betty Smith from Cherokee, Kansas. It says her family wishes her a very happy birthday.
And out in Columbus, Kansas, happy birthday to Bob Epler.
And continuing our birthday list with Sue Niles Eckhart from Carl Junction. Happy birthday, Sue.
And Bernie Broyles turning 84 today out in Neosho, Missouri. Happy birthday, Bernie.
And that was a really great birthday list. Happy birthday to you all. And make sure, if you'd like to have your birthday or anniversary included, we'd love to wish you happy birthday. Submit them to birthdays@koamnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those photos and messages and meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen. Now over to Lindsay with a quick look at the forecast.
All right, temperatures out in Joplin and the surrounding regions in the 40s. Clouds are starting to increase, and we do have some showers pushing in to our northern counties. Not long lived, will be over in a couple of hours. Nothing too severe, just the remnants of that low pressure system starting to rotate back in. So we're getting a brief few showers this morning. Next system that we're tracking is still west of Vancouver. That's going to make its way into our area on Saturday, giving us some heavy rainfall Saturday night, maybe even a thunderstorm or two. But until then, we do have a nice ridge forming over our area, and I've mentioned it before, that is good. It means that we're getting some warmer temperatures and we're on that warming trend. Unfortunately, that didn't start today. On Monday, we had a high of 75, dropping down to 49 on Tuesday, and that temperature trend is continuing through today. We only see temperatures getting to the lower to mid 50s today. Starting out right now though, temperatures about 40 degrees, give or take a few degrees depending on what area you're in. Winds are pretty slow, 10 to 15 miles per hour, but they will start to increase with gusts up to 35 miles per hour today. Temperatures warm up to about 54 degrees, clouds increase, and those wind gusts are going to be pretty fast. We see gusts starting this morning around 30-35 miles per hour, continuing through the day, dropping slightly 25 to 30 miles per hour, but they'll continue to gust all the way until this evening, pretty late this evening. That's when those winds are going to start to calm down. Unfortunately, it brings those wind chill values down quite a bit. We see temperatures right now in the 40s, however, it feels like it's in the upper 20s, so it's going to be pretty chilly. And as we warm up to the 50s, it's only going to feel like it's in the 30s due to those wind chill values. So it's pretty chilly today, and we also have those fast wind gusts. It's going to drop back down to pretty chilly again tonight. Warming starts tomorrow. We see temperatures getting up into the 60s due to this ridge that's forming in our area. Winds start to slow down by tomorrow as well. And then as we continue through the weekend, we see clouds increase. And here we have our next chance of rain coming in Saturday, late afternoon into the early evening hours. Due to this low pressure system, nothing like we just saw. It's not going to be as strong, but we will get some heavy rain and possibly a thunderstorm or two. But it won't be long lived. Going to be gone by Sunday morning. We're going to have another calm Sunday day into Monday. Clouds start to increase, and then we have our next chance of rain starting to make its way in Monday night into Tuesday morning. Right now it's tracking a little bit more to the south, but we are expecting it to push more north, especially because this low pressure system is making its way into our area. So we've got these two low pressure systems, one coming in on Saturday, and the second one will be coming in early Tuesday morning or late Monday night, and we'll see it start to increase. We have some thunderstorm chances as well on Tuesday, and the showers continue all the way through Wednesday. So we've got a lot of rain in the forecast. Starting today, some showers in our northern counties, but for the most part, partly cloudy, and winds start to increase. Temperatures drop tonight down to the freezing level, so we may have a freeze warning tonight. Next chance of rain on Saturday, temperatures stick in the 70s, and then after that cold front passes on Tuesday, they'll drop down pretty drastically to the 40s, but they'll warm back up pretty quickly. Now, coming up on the KOAM morning news, switches on over to Fox 14. Hear how a missing 3-year-old boy was found safe, all thanks to the Florida police dog. We'll be right back.
Trooper in Okinawa, Japan. We are proud to salute Alan Garner, a 4-state hero.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The Kansas Department of Health and Environment has issued a stream advisory for Shoal Creek from the Missouri state line to the confluence with the Spring River and south to the Oklahoma state line in Cherokee County. Residents are instructed to not enter these areas of the stream or river and keep children and pets away. The most recent storm system is leaving behind a path of destruction. Tornadoes have left people in parts of Kentucky homeless. Blizzard warnings are in effect for parts of the northern U.S. Severe storms are expected to continue for Pennsylvania and parts of the surrounding states today. A powerful earthquake rocked the entire island of Taiwan early this morning. Taiwan's Earthquake Monitoring Bureau said the quake packed a magnitude of 7.2, with the U.S. Geological Survey putting it at a 7.4. It's believed to be the biggest quake Taiwan has experienced since 1999. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And for today, you can expect pretty windy conditions. Clouds start to increase. Temperatures not warming up too much, just to the mid to upper 50s across the region. We will start to warm up in the next couple of days, and the next chance of rain comes in late Saturday evening.
I'm certainly glad that it'll be a little bit warmer in the next few days,
yes,
and sun will be out, so that'll be lovely.
Back into the 70s. I know I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making lemon chive asparagus in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Emily Frankowski from Connect to Culture joins us in the studio to talk about a few of the April performances. That'll be great.
Plus, John Bartlow, Dean of Students at Pittsburgh State, joins us in the studio to talk about Go Pitt Fest Party.
Well, that'll be great. Much to look forward to, so be sure to join us over on Fox 14. Enjoy the day. I know it'll be a little bit cooler out there, but you know, it's starting to pick up. So yes, we'll see the sun out there. And yeah, that'll wrap it up for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and we'll see you today at noon.